Are you in the market to buy a motorcycle? And what is your budget? Within 2 lakhs? Well, we have the two latest offerings, but there's a twist. One is the Hero Karizma and the other one is the Royal Enfield Bullet.
Well, this isn't an apples to apples comparison for sure. The Enfield has its own fan base while the Karizma has its own legacy too. So, which one should you opt for? We're going to discuss how these motorcycles ride.
So what is the first thing that a customer is looking at in this segment?
It is definitely the looks. And the Bullet is completely unbeatable in this regard. Look at it. The design is timeless, almost unchanged since 9 decades. But what about the Karizma?
See, that is the key word. Timeless is a very nice way of saying it's old. Now look at the Karizma. It's refreshed. Of course, it's not legendary as the Bullet, but it does have its own right as well. And it has changed a lot. It is not a full-fed one, thank God for that, because the ZMR somehow just looked a bit lost. But this looks crisp, it looks lean, it looks sporty, and I think the best thing is it doesn't take a toll on you when you're riding. It is comfortable.
Speaking of the age thing, I think an Enfield is designed anyone from age 20 to beyond, and it caters to a wider range of audience. What about the Karizma? Does it have that segment of audiences to pull?
So yeah, that only time will tell. We do know about the timeline of the Karizma. It came out in 2003 and then it sort of disappeared because of Hero and Honda splitting and going their separate ways. It was forcefully launched again as the ZMR, but the competition was just way ahead. But we have a good feeling that this Karizma is going to do well, and it is going to be around for a while. Now the Karizma is a very modern bike, but at the same time it also has its simplicity. And why so? I'll just quickly tell you in details. First and foremost, you have this adjustable visor, which is the first in its segment. Just a button right here and you can pull it up or down. It is fairly significant update. The other thing is, it comes with an all-digital instrument cluster. Now it's not a TFT instrument cluster, but it's an LCD one, but still has a lot of functions, like your typical fuel average, then average of speed, and of course your speedometer and fuel gauge as well. But one thing that is very important about this is it also gives you turn-by-turn navigation, which I'm sure that doesn't. But anyways,
yeah.
So that is important, and of course you can charge your phone. You have a USB port right there. Do you have one?
Yes.
So there is some update there. Why don't you tell us?
So you got me there. The Enfield has remained practically unchanged ever since. The only significant updates you get are these rotary dials, a small digital inset that reads the odometer, the fuel meter and the trip meters. Nothing else. And yes, of course, the USB charging is a significant addition compared to the Enfield standards, I must say.
The Karizma is powered by a brand new 210cc engine. It churns out 25.2 bhp and 20.4 Nm of torque. Now, according to Hero, these are class-leading figures, but how does that translate in real-world performance? Well, we rode it and we thought the initial pickup was very linear, very user-friendly when you're commuting. It's not got that breakneck speed. It doesn't, throw you off your guard. It's very predictable, but the thing is, it is very usable. Same is the case with the mid-range power. But around the 5000 RPM onwards, it just becomes very predictable, slightly boring as well. But then comes that hidden agenda, or rather the hidden talent of this engine. After the 6000 RPM range, it shoots up. It loves to be high rev. Something that we see in the KTMs. Well, now even Hero wants its flagship bike to be high rev, and the top range power, it's just phenomenal. Like most of the bikes, they flatten out. Well, that's not the case in the Karizma. It actually gives you a lot more punch. We crossed easily over 130 kilometers per hour and we just ran out of road, but it was raring to go faster and it remained very stable at the same time. So in a nutshell, it is very good for commuting, but if you want power, just rev it up and it will not disappoint you at all. In terms of refinement, yes, it is fairly refined. The gearbox on the other hand is also fairly decent. It comes standard with slip assist clutch, but it is slightly notchy. It comes with a light clutch, which makes the riding experience a lot more commuter friendly.
Well, that's all just fine, but the Enfield has its own charm. And speaking of charm, there is the new 349cc air and oil cooled motor from the new gen Classic. It churns out 20.2 bhp and 27 Nm of torque. Now, why is that a highlight? In a modern day and age, when more and more manufacturers are focusing on high revving performance, Enfield is ensuring a smooth and relaxed riding performance. This new engine is an evolution over the previous 350cc motor. It's super smooth, tractable, and definitely a torquey motor as an Enfield should be. Complementing this engine is a beautiful 5-speed gearbox which is slick and ultra smooth and is practically effortless in city traffic. Making the experience even more effortless is the super smooth clutch. Now, you don't need to use it very often as the engine has a wide torque band, and unlike the Karizma, you don't need to short shift very often. Coming to ergonomics, the Bullet can be as comfortable as a motorcycle can be. For starters, it gets a wide handlebar that is tall and gives you an upright riding posture. The seat at 805 mm is accessible as well as very comfortable with ample amount of padding at the backside. Adding further, the foot pegs are center set, so it means it gives you a laid back riding posture that will enable you to munch miles for long hours without breaking a sweat. Riding handling is another department where the Bullet shines. At the heart of the matter is this new dual pedal chassis borrowed from the Classic 350. Now, it isn't as sporty as the Karizma, but the weight has been distributed very beautifully. So the 195 kilos doesn't feel that much when you ride. Coming to its suspension, it gets telescopic forks up front and twin shock absorbers at rear. Now, these may not sound very fancy in today's day and age, but for the Bullet, they do the job just as fine. And to be honest, you wouldn't have heard of many Bullets breaking down because of bad roads. So be it the twisties or the straight tarmacs or even light off-road trails, the Bullet will never disappoint you as far as ride and handling is concerned.
The Karizma is based on a brand new platform. It is a steel terrace frame, which is the first for a Hero motorcycle. It comes with a 300 mm front disc brake and 230 mm rear disc brake. But what is the advantage of this brand new platform? Well, it's a lot more agile. It's definitely a lot more lighter. It only weighs 163 odd kgs, so it's very much flickable. You can take corners very easily. It is not the lightest in the segment, but when you compare it with the others like the KTMs and the Pulsars, it's right up there. Yes, but when it comes to the Yamaha R15, it is still the lightest in the segment. The ride quality, well, it's not at all compromised. It is more on the softer side. But if you go on deep potholes, yes, it does become a bit firm. As a whole, it is more on the comfort side. The monoshock in the rear, it is preload. You can change it. It has 6 different adjustable ways. When it comes to the front forks, it is quite surprising that the Karizma does not get the USD forks like the Extreme 164V. Now, the answer is very simple. It is cost cutting. As nimble as the ride and handling quality of the Karizma is, the saddle height is 810 mm, which makes it very accessible. The saddle itself is wide, it is supportive, it's a split seat, so for the rider it is very comfortable. It actually gives you a little bit of a lower back support, but the same cannot be said about for the pillion because it is quite high raised, the platform, the seat for the pillion, and you can also see the foot pegs are also at quite a height. So in terms of touring, it is very good for a rider, the ergonomics, but might not be so great for a pillion.
So to sum it up, the new Bullet is still a very robust and utilitarian motorcycle. It will satisfy a wide variety of riders and at prices starting at 1.73 going beyond 2 lakh mark. It doesn't have the thrills and performance as the Karizma XMR, but it surely has its own charm that will engage a wide variety of riders from a wide demography.
The Karizma is definitely targeting younger audience, and it is only available in one variant and is priced at 1.80 lakhs ex showroom. Now, it is a sports tourer, it is a modern bike, it comes with a lot of features, but there is one con, and that is the vibey engine nature. After 5 to 6,000 RPM mark, you can feel the vibrations from the tank, from the saddle, from the foot pegs. So it's not really a very nice experience. But as a whole, it is still a very good value for money motorcycle as it is competitively priced. So this is not a direct comparison, but it is all about what you can buy within 2 lakhs and what is new in the market.
If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up and share it with like-minded enthusiasts. Also, subscribe to the Express Drive channel for more automotive content like this. Thank you for watching.